Hey everybody. Am I live? Can you guys hear me? Let me test it really quick. Hey everybody. Alright, let me know if my you can hear me okay and the audio and stuff's all good. We're gonna get started in a second. Think we're good. Yeah. Okay. Alright guys, happy weekend everybody. I'm going to be working on the island rating system today, which is kind of similar to like Animal Crossing. I sound a bit low. Alright, hold up. How do I sound now? Is that fine? Is that better or worse? Better, okay. Alright. Yeah, today I'm going to be working on the island rating system. So, again, like it's similar to Animal Crossing where you have like a star rating. So you'll need to improve your island. It's sort of part of the core storyline for the game. So it's part of the thing you need to complete. You don't have to get a 5-star rating, but you do. I think it's going to be either 3 or 4 stars that you'll have to reach in order to. I'm not going to spoil why you need to have this rating, but just know that you'll have to get a high star rating. So I did a mock-up of this, which is a very simple like UI thing. So it's going to basically give you points based on like your decorations, your themes, how the terrain is set up and stuff. Like if you have if you have a bunch of holes and stuff that you've dug up on your island, that's going to count against you. And then of course like having a lot of debris and trash on your island is going to count against you. So I need to build this UI in Unity and then make sure that everything's working. I've already put together most of the script here. It's pretty messy, but right now this is a simple static function that is rating your island. It just basically goes through the world data information, pulls out all of the stuff, it finds all the objects in your scenes, and figures out what you need to have in order to get good score. So it also goes off theme and it goes off of object types, so you can build up different themes. So far these are all the themes right now, if you want to take a quick glance at that. What about my field of holes? I mean, if you want to fill the holes, that's fine, man. You're just gonna have to deal with a really low rating. You can have a field of holes on one of the other islands if you want. It's totally acceptable. Yeah, my coding isn't the best. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not an extremely advanced coder. I've only been coding in Unity for a few years. I've been doing game programming for a long time, but it's been like JavaScript and like calculator programming and game maker and multimedia fusion. So my coding isn't great, but it works. I understand like it's not always gonna be perfectly like efficient, but as long as it works and the game runs, I'm happy with it. So there's probably a lot of stuff here I could do to clean this up, but I rushed this out yesterday just to get something working, so I might go back and clean it up. But anyway. Okay, so first thing we need to do is we need to start building this UI. I actually have, let me go ahead and test what I have right now. Just run this. I've got the audio muted for the game too, just so it's not getting crazy. So we're in the game, and right now I don't have the UI set up. So what I've done is I've placed a bunch of like decorations and stuff around just to experiment. There should be some stuff over here too, yeah. There's like flower decorations everywhere. I just kind of placed down just to get some sort of something in the map. So if I press F12, which should be this is the code that's gonna run here. So I press F12 here, and it found all this stuff. It found 2 holes. There's the 2 holes over here to the right. I dug those earlier yesterday. So my current total island score is -110, which is really bad. That's just because this island basically has nothing on it but some flowers, and there's still some debris. I just added a bunch of the same flowers here. You actually will get capped on how many flowers count towards your island rating. You can't just flood your island with flowers. I think it's like a 200 count, which actually adds up pretty quick. So if you have like hundreds and hundreds of flowers, they're not going to keep adding to your island rating simply because that would be kind of boring. So what we need to do is we need to actually, I'm gonna start a new island actually, just to start fresh. And the goal today is to, I need to fix this thing. The goal today is, and that as well. The goal today is to get this UI working so that it can show you how many stars you've gotten for your island so far, and just make sure that that all shows the correct information. And then I'll probably be doing some pixel art for villager sprites later. Probably like after I get this roughed out. Let me read some chat real quick. Hey man, love your project. I was wondering what state your game was in when you got a publisher, because I have a demo, but using 100% itch art, is that something that they would be willing to take on? I got it early when the game was basically really rough. I mean, there was definitely, it was shaped up to like have a lot of the basic features, but a lot of it was just like screenshot mock-ups. The trailer was pieced together from like animations and some of the gameplay footage. The publisher just wants to see that you're able to make a game and that it works and that it's fun. So I don't think you necessarily need like finished art. If you're using like placeholder art, that's fine. So yeah, I mean, I think if you're wanting to get a publisher, you would just have to find somebody who like clicks with what you're trying to make, I guess. Every publisher is going to be different, so I can't like make a promise that, you know, your itch art game is going to get published. It's really up to the publisher. Haybean says, is it only you on your island, or do others move in or even visit from other isles? It's at first it's only you on the island, but you will have people visit, and there are a lot of people in this game on different islands. But nobody's going to move to your island. I think that would be a little too much for me to add right now into the game. That's a whole nother level of complexity that I'm not prepared for. Thank you, we'll be buying day one. Awesome, that sounds really good. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. All right, so what are we doing? We're making the system. So now we're gonna run the town rating system again on this new island and see what we got. We definitely have a bad score. That's to be expected because there's all this debris, like these weeds. So the thing is, if we actually, okay, so we got that. So if we actually rip up a lot of these weeds and chop a lot of these little debris sticks on the ground, I'll just do something really quick. We're gonna chop a few things. This is also debris, it's like dirt clumps. Would buy day one if I wasn't a backer already. Hey man, you can always get extra copies. No, you actually shouldn't need extra copies. You should be fine with whatever you backed. So now we're just cleaning up this stuff on the island just to improve our score and see how much it improves just from cleaning up some debris. I think I'll just do a little bit more. Let's see, did it say what our island rating was? Oh, island score, negative 624. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save, and then we're gonna test this again. So it was negative 624. We run this again, negative 512. So we've made some improvements just from the picking up the weeds and stuff. So you're gonna want to clear off a lot of weeds and a lot of stuff from the island. Are there going to be more private tests in the future? I remember doing those a couple of years ago. Yes, there will. I haven't really found time to schedule that sort of thing yet, but I definitely do need to have some private testing done. I would say in the coming months, that's most likely going to happen. Right now, I'm focused on a completely different area of the game, so I don't necessarily want to be worried about fixing stuff elsewhere right now, but once that area is more fleshed out, I'll probably do some testing. Alright, so we've cleared out some stuff, but obviously your island's not going to get a good star rating just by having less debris on your island. You're going to have to decorate it. So we have the console here just for test purposes, so I can go ahead and like drop some stuff. So I think I'm going to drop... we'll do a few. Just do some tropical furniture, which is like the first kind of furniture set you unlock. And we're just gonna place some stuff down. Actually, I should probably do a house as well. Go. So when you want to build buildings, you buy blueprints, and that basically covers all of the materials and stuff that you need, so you can just place the entire building down immediately. So first you have to find a place that actually you can place it, so you can see, like, I can't put it on trees, so if you wanted to put it here, you'd have to clear these trees out, which we're not going to do right now. We're just going to place it somewhere simple. So I like this area. It's like right in front of this lake, so you can place it on top of tall grass. We'll put it right here. There we go. Now we have our tropical house. You can go inside, and it's pretty dark in here because we don't have lights, but you can add some wall lights and stuff. But we're not really worried about that right now. We're just you can open the window. We're just trying to decorate a little bit. We can put our mailbox out here. Oh, we need to do these. I'm gonna turn this off because it's kind of annoying me right now. Turn that off, and turn off the context tips. Okay. All right, just give me a second. I'm gonna change something. I'll gladly be breaking things as it opens back up once again. Yeah, there's gonna be plenty of stuff to break, I'm sure. When I make my games, like, I try to do a little testing myself, obviously, just to make sure that stuff isn't just gonna completely be broken. You know, I do playtest myself, but there's a lot of stuff I never find, and I know that a lot of people will test it and find all kind of things that I would never find in a million years. So that's important to do, like, private playtesting. I forget, is the game going to be exclusively single player? Really hits the vibe for some casual multiplayer with a friendo. Yeah, it's gonna be multiplayer. I don't know if it's gonna have multiplayer on release. I really wish I could tell you like right now that there will be multiplayer. The plan was to have local multiplayer and online multiplayer. Like not online like a MMO or anything like that, but just like, you know, connect with your friends. But I don't know if it's going to be day one release of the game, simply just because it's a huge undertaking, and it would extend the release time for the game by a lot. So for now it's going to be single player, but multiplayer is 100% planned. It was actually a Kickstarter goal. If you were to ever make a really silly monster, what would you want it to be like? Like a party worm. Like those little like fuzzy wiggly worms. That would be really funny. Just like googly eyes, and it just like slithers all over the place. That'd be pretty good. Hello, Mr. Konitama. I hope your day is going well. Thank you. I hope your day is going good as well. Tie-Dye Rex, I know you. Hope you're having a good weekend so far. Alright, so we are working on the island rating thing, right? So we need to add more decorations and stuff. I forget what, I think I cleared it out, didn't I? We need to add some stuff. Let's do some lights. I think this is, no. There we go. Alright, so we're adding some wall sconces. It's very dark in here, as you can see. That's why we're adding some light. So you can add your candles. I'm going to go ahead and just add one up here. Add one over here. Eventually you'll be able to get stuff that can like permanently light things, but early on you're going to have to like replenish some lighting sources. This actually, in the editor version of this game right now, it's very dark, but in the actual build, this is a lot lighter because it illuminates better, but I had to turn off a layer for editing purposes. So this room would actually be more illuminated in the build. Just so you're not like worried why it's so dark at the bottom. Even if you can get the bare multiplayer in Steam's co-op feature can help with that for the early versions, but yeah, get a product out there first. Yeah, the game's already delayed so much that at this point I definitely need to just get the game done and worry about multiplayer after the fact. Like Stardew Valley didn't launch with multiplayer from what I can remember, so I'm not that concerned about it not launching with it. I mean, I would love if it did, but obviously it's a lot more work. Alright, so let's decorate some more. Add a wardrobe. Table. You can rotate chairs, so you can use Q and R. Left and right rotate. So put some chairs down. I can put my sleeping bag. I'll put the sleeping bag down outside by the water, I guess. Just as many decorations as I can place down and furniture and stuff. Does opening the window let in light? Not currently, no. You can actually see inside when it's lit at night, you can see, but it doesn't actually let the light into the room yet. But that's a good suggestion. I need to add that. It's just an overall, it would just overall illuminate the light a bit. Or the room a bit. Alright, so we need a little bit more decorations. Let's see what else I can remember. Tropical icebox. don't have the couch in there yet. And for those not familiar with the storage system in this game, there's multiple kinds of storage. So here you've got this kind of stuff. You can just put stuff in here. Store my candles in here, some dirt. So you can store stuff in here just like that, but also you can do display storages. So for something like this, you can actually put stuff in here, and where you put it is where it is displayed on the storage. So you can put stuff on the shelves. But for now, we're gonna leave that. You can also put stuff on the tables, so you can, and where you put it is where it is displayed on the table. So that's kind of nice. But for now, we're gonna leave that stuff, and we're gonna keep our stuff. Oh, we need a bed. There we go. And you can sleep in bed, and it actually fast forwards the time. Actually, I guess I'll sleep right now just to make it dark out. And at night, the monsters come out. Right now, it's just testing fire monsters. I do need to fix this bug right here. Okay. I should probably fight these things really quick. Let's go fight some fire monsters. These fire monsters I just recently added into the game. They actually, like, when they slam down, they leave fire, which is pretty crazy. And there's a lot of them right now. Holy. Let me deal with this really quick. Oh no. I'm getting a little overwhelmed. You won't see this many monsters at once. I haven't tweaked the monster management in a while. Holy moly. They're coming for me. So yeah, these leave a little bit of flame trail afterwards, and if you run into it, it does hurt. I almost died here. Okay, let me just replenish my health really quick. There's this one just stuck. So the reason it's getting stuck is because I think the debris objects aren't being added to the pathfinding algorithm for it. So if this was added in, it would basically, the AI would be able to see it, and then it would navigate around it. But I think it's the growables and stuff aren't being added to the system. It is in place, it's just I haven't updated it, so that's why they are kind of dumb. But they can navigate a little bit. It just, they do get stuck on stuff. But that will be fixed soon. If you go in your house, they actually shouldn't come in here. They want to avoid light, so the more stuff that you have lit up, the better. So if we put some torches down here, and then add a little bit of fuel. There's actually, items have flammability stats. So you can see here, this is 3 flames. It's pretty flammable. It goes up to 5. I think like oil or like coal is actually 5 flames. So if we do this, it tells you how much time this will burn for. So 5 wood's gonna burn for about 7 hours, which is plenty of enough time. So we can light that up. And then do the same here. We can just add 5 wood. You can actually press up and down to like go by 10. Or you can go left and right to go individually. So you can see he's not actually affected by the light because he's already on fire. So yeah, are all monsters afraid of light? No. The fire globs are not afraid of light because they are literally emitting light. He is really dumb though right now. He really wants to go through this tree. Oh, we'll just kill him. Alright, so we've got a little bit of stuff going here. Let me add, let's see, we'll add this trash can in here. So the trash can is nice. If you want to throw objects away, like items away that you don't want anymore, not that I would know how you'd want to do that, you can toss it in the trash can. But you can also retrieve it. So this is only 1 slot. So if you put something in here, you can take it back out of the trash can. But if you add something in, like, let's say I add another item in here. Let me hold this. If I drop this in here, we previously have this mushroom in here. If we drop this, it overwrites it. So it's completely deleted forever. So you do want to make sure, like, if you don't want to throw something away, then if you accidentally were to be like, oh, do that, then you can actually retrieve it. But if you really want to delete stuff, then that would be the way to do it. And you can actually sit in the chairs. I'm not sure if it's going to, yeah, you can just sit in the chair. All right, so what we're gonna do, we're doing the island rating system. That's what I'm trying to work on, but I just wanted to get a little demo scene set up so that I can work with this. And I think now we're gonna try to test out the island rating system again, and so our score is still really, really bad. I don't know if I'm actually testing, well, that's because I didn't save the game yet. So if you haven't saved the game, it's not going to give you the updated score. But you wouldn't have to worry about that normally, because this island rating takes place on a different island where your current main island would already be saved. So there would never be a time when you need to save your island like that. But we're going to save the game now just for testing purposes. So now this should go up from -512 to something a lot better. -312. So we've already dropped 200, or earned 200 points from just setting this stuff up on our island. Like, obviously there's still a lot of debris on this island we didn't really clear out. You know, as you can see, we can zoom out this far. There's quite a bit of debris and stuff left on the island. So once you start cleaning up the island and you've added stuff, you've terraformed, you've added more decoration, you can get your rating up. But for now, we're just going to focus on getting the UI actually implemented. Here's another thing that I do need to fix. Like, you shouldn't be able to see interior objects. They should just disappear when you're not inside the house. But for right now, you can actually kind of ghost look inside of your house. Alright, so we're going to save here, and then we are going to start working on the UI. Lo-fi Megalovania. Yeah, I'm just playing some kind of like royalty-free lo-fi thing on YouTube. I like this song. So we're just going to work in our title scene here, just because we only need to do this for a moment before we get into a prefab. So we want to set up a new island rating system. We can just go ahead and make this a prefab, like straight out of the gate. We don't want to reset this so it's default. Then we go to our prefabs interface, and we want to go ahead and just drag this on here, make a new interface, a new prefab. We can delete it now and just work from that. This is our fresh prefab. We need to add a canvas. Whoops. And we're gonna go ahead and steal whatever we have on this one, because I don't feel like looking at it and figuring it out. Oh no, that's not the right thing. Hold up. Copy component, and then we're gonna just replace it. Paste component is new. Oh, it's not showing up because I don't have the other stuff attached to it. Right. Canvas scalar. Oh, we need a rec transform. Is that why it's not doing it? Oh no, it's fine. Oh, it already created it. I'm dumb. Let's try to create a canvas inside of another canvas. Oh, hold on. We'll add this back over here really quick. Actually, let's just delete this and start over with something a little easier. We can just, oops. use an existing interface just to save some time here. Let's figure out one that we can use. Town board? Sure, town board. So we can just copy this, paste it in here. This already has a lot of stuff set up for us. We don't need to do anything with this, so we can just rename this to Island Rating. Yeah, this already has all of this stuff set up, which is saving me time from having to do it again. And then we can just go ahead and make the prefab like this. And get started on a fresh canvas. So the first thing we need to do is add in a backdrop. We need to add this this little window panel. So we need to make a image. It is called gold border panel thick. Yeah, that should work. And then we need to make sure that we size it up. What was the size that I made for this? It was like 320 by 220. It has to be something like that. And then of course the pixels per unit multiplier makes it look really small. I think we have to go to 0.5. There we go. So we're just basically recreating this inside of Unity's canvas. This is basically how I do a lot of my UI, like interface stuff, is to mock it up in Photoshop and then just sort of recreate it over here. Alright, so the next thing is we need to add the stars. Let's go ahead and add the stars in. Actually, oh yeah, we're not working inside of the prefab, so let's do that really quick. There we go. Now we're inside of the prefab. Let's just go ahead and delete it from the main scene and work from the prefab. Okay, and now we're gonna add the text. We'll add the text first. UI text mesh pro, and then we're gonna want text for decorations, themes, terrain, debris, trash. Alright, so for this, what we can do is we can actually set up a grid layout. And we'll do a new object parent for it. Vertical layout group. That's what we want. This way you can just paste text and it automatically like lays itself out in a group. We'll do upper left. And then the width is determining the spacing of it, so we need to width this out to about 600 up, not 6,000. 550, that's good. Leave a little bit of a margin on the side. 570, 370. Yeah, that's good. Alright, we need to also change the spacing because it's really big. Actually, it might just be because the text is really wide. If you reduce the height of the text, it actually changes it too. So we'll mess with that first. So we need at least 4. Yeah, we probably should just change the spacing here. I probably will add more to this. I don't think this is going to be all of the factors that cover your island rating, so I'm leaving a little bit of extra space. But if I don't need that extra space, I can always just resize the window overall. But for now, we're just going to leave some extra space here. So this will be like your decorations, themes, terrain, debris, trash. Okay. We don't want word wrap on. To make sure that we're using auto size so that it always fits the text. And then this text needs to go across the screen. I think that's fine. a little big. That is probably fine. Let's go ahead and just do... No, that's fine. We'll name this... rating category, and then we'll just make a few of these. And then we'll actually make... Actually, what we should do is make this into a prefab, because I'm going to do some more stuff with it as well. I actually want to add the number in here as well, directly into this as a child. So put that at 270, and then we are going to change this to be right aligned, and then this is going to be our score for that category. And yeah, that should match up with this, yeah. Category score. Cool. All right, so we should make this into a prefab as well, just because we're just duplicating this and we don't want to have to keep updating every one of these things as a prefab. So now if we do this and we change the prefab inside in any kind of way, it should change everything. So that updates all of these now, so that's good. That's what we want. We don't want to have to sit here and like update each one of these things individually. So that's fine, and then this is fine. So that's going to be our list. Now we need to add our stars in. And that's going to be its own new empty... Oh, we don't want a parent. We don't want a child. There we go. And this is going to be stars. Reset the transform in the center, and now we want to add our stars. I think we have... I've already added the star into the game, so we should just have a UI image, and then we find our star. I think it's called star rating. Oh, okay, there it is. Island rating star. So I already drew this up earlier today. It's just a really simple star thing, and I think this is 80 by 80. Yeah. So that's literally just this that I drew. It's actually really small. Oh, that's because it's actually half the size that it should be. It should be 160 by 160. There we go. Now it should actually match the scale. So we have our star here, but it's obviously we need 5 of them total. We're gonna do the same sort of thing with the grid layout, or the layout group. Only it's gonna be a horizontal layout group. And then this is gonna be middle center alignment. And then we can test that out, just add a bunch of these. Okay. What are we missing here? It needs to have the width, right. So it needs to have the same width as the screen. So 800 centered. There we go. If anybody has any questions about Cloudscape or the development process or Unity or anything like that, I'd be more than happy to answer it while I'm working on this stuff. So just let me know. If ever you could do a crossover with another game, what would it be? Let me think about that for a second. It's probably ironic because this music is playing, but probably Legend of Zelda, honestly. I know that would be a weird crossover. I don't know how that would work, especially now that most Legend of Zelda games are like Breath of the Wild kind of games, and they're not similar to Cloudscape. But if there was like a 2D Zelda game, I would definitely want to do a crossover with that. That'd be fun. I think I've already done like Kumo, our character dressed as like Link at some point in time. Alrighty. This is the basic setup for this. I need to actually make the code now, the script. So what I do with this is this has the town board script currently on it. We're going to remove that. So we need to make a new script and call it island rating. And that will drive all of the elements and stuff to display properly once we set that script up. I had just thought the same thing. Yeah, this game is very heavily influenced by Zelda, Harvest Moon, Animal Crossing. It's kind of a blend of all of those games. Like I grew up playing the original Link to the Past, and that game has is like a core memory for me. So there's definitely a lot of influence of that with the dungeons and the combat in this game. Are there Easter eggs and references in the game yet? There might be one or two, but not currently. I'll probably add those more towards the end of development. But there will definitely be quite a few Easter eggs. There's actually a few that I've added that are pretty, they're pretty out there. So if somebody caught those, that'd be pretty interesting. There's an animal with a certain name that is completely unrelated to game development, but there's like a pop culture thing with it. So if you could find that, that'd be pretty funny. But I do enjoy adding Easter eggs. I just yeah, it's not the primary focus at the moment, but I definitely will add more. Yeah, Steffi Beast, you know what it is. Alright, so we have our script and we need to start working on it. So we got our blank script here. We need to go ahead and start adding our variables and stuff that we're going to need to access to like change all of this stuff. So how many stars we're going to display and the decorations and all that stuff. So let's go ahead and do that. So I like to just do public. Probably, I mean, it's the easiest way to drag and drop stuff on here anyway. So do public. Should we do a list or should we do individual variables for each of these? I think a list is fine. Yeah, a list is fine. Because we might have up to like 7 or 8 of these things and I don't want to have each one be separate. Pro using, there we go. So we're going to make a list of text objects so that we can access these. We'll just call this the rating category text. Public list. Same dealio we need to do for the scores. I use very long and very clear variable names setup, so like I understand what it is just from looking at it. Like I know that rating category text is this and rating category score text is this. I could like shorthand it and stuff, but I'm fine. I'm a solo developer, so like whatever I'm comfortable with, I feel like that's good enough for me. So we'll save that really quick. Alright, so we have our little script in here. Let's go back to the main thing here. So we have our public variables now, and we need to... This is my trick to dealing with a lot of variables like this. I like to make lists and then just drag everything in there, so you can do like this. Let me lock this first. And that's those text objects, and that's these text objects. So now I can access all 4 of these and all 4 of these inside the script just using the list indexes. And if I need to add more, I can just add another one and then drag it in here and add it on. And I'm going to do the same for the stars as well. Actually, I don't know, since they're only going to be 5 stars and they're not going to change, it's not really necessary. No, because I'm going to be wanting to display them. Yeah, I'll just do one for the stars real quick. Like image, or list. Image. Oops, I'm not using the UI. I'm so happy that C# is a lot simpler when you're having to like use other scripts. I remember when I was in high school trying to make stuff with C++, and it was such a nightmare trying to include. I think I got really lost trying to like add all the includes. So instead of using, it was like include, and then you'd have to like add scripts to it, and I was just like, I don't know what I need. And back then there wasn't like an autofill thing like this, so I would just be sitting there like, I don't know what scripts have like what stuff in it for me to that I need to include for my code to work, and so it was just a nightmare. C++ was definitely not a very beginner friendly language like 15 years ago. Alright, we got our little stars here, and then we can just doop doop. Now all of our stars are in order here and ready to be used. So if you disable these, they should, whoops, I disabled everything. If you, because I have this locked. If you disable this, it will show less stars. But right now it's spacing them really far apart, so let me see if I can fix that, because I only wanted to space it so that the 2 stay centered. So I think, what do we need to do with this? Child force expand, right, we don't want that. We want padding. Oh, that's for the whole thing. We want, is it spacing? Spacing. I think we want like 8 spacing. There we go. So now each one that you add is going to space out correctly. I never used to use these like layout groups that often, but they're such a godsend once you figure out how they work, because it's just like, if you have to sit here and manually space each one of these things out and keep track of their position and everything in the code, it's kind of a nightmare. This is so easy because it's like, okay, you've got 2 stars or whatever, 3 stars, it just like centers it perfectly for you. Now we are going to do a little trick in code to make it do this sort of curve, because I like the curve more than just having it straight across. But we'll worry about that when we get to it. Alright, so that's looking good so far. We should probably make a parent for this whole thing and then position it in the center of the screen. So create empty parent. Parent everything in here. Wouldn't it be nicer to always show 5 stars and just gray out? It could. I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, this is an early draft of this, so it could change. But I might actually have a bar at the bottom that shows you like how many until the next star. But that does make sense just because like the player might not know how many stars they could reach. So that's something for me to think about. But for right now, I'm just gonna do it like this. It's pretty much it pretty much wouldn't be that much work to just keep all 5 on the screen and do it that way. But you raise a good point, Egon. I just mocked this up this morning, so I'm like, you know, this is just the first thing that popped into my head. But yeah, that actually does sound like a good idea. But for now, let's just get this functioning and operational with our debug code so that we can test it out. Yeah, okay, well, we're gonna center this. Alrighty. So, for our debug code, let's go ahead and just get this popping up now. Need to add it into the game scene. So this is actually the full game scene for the game. This is where 99% of the game takes place. So I have all of these things sorted in here, the managers, the menus, everything's like already set up in the game. We have UI. So I think this would go in the UI section here. So what we want to do is we want to add in our prefab that we just made. Add it in here. And so now we want to disable it. As you can see, a lot of these are disabled. We want to disable it, and then what we want to do is we want to reference this in our debug tool. So I think it might be in tools, or it might be in our managers actually. Where do I have the debug tool set up? Right here. Okay, so I have debug tool in here, and this is the script. This is just for my personal testing use. This won't be in the final build. But right now what we're doing is when we press F12, it does the island rating, which was doing this thing before, showing our negative like score. But now we want to actually tie this into our UI. So temporarily we will add our UI in here. Actually, we'll just have it be the game object. Yeah. We'll update that really quick. Alrighty. So we have this right here, then we can go ahead and drag that on here to reference it. So now this island rating UI is being referenced by our debug tool. And we're gonna go ahead and save this scene and go back to our working on our prefab. Oops. I'll do a quick save. Let's see here what we're doing. Island rating, island rating. And now in our debug tool where we're doing F12, let's go back to that. We are going to do this, but we're also going to open up we're going to activate that game object. So we're going to say, what's it on island rating? There we go. And for now, we're going to disable this because we don't need to rate the island right now. We're just going to make this pop up the island rating thing when we press F12. Let's let's go ahead and just test this out really quick. Hey Connie, finally made it to the stream. Hi Chrissy, glad you could make it to the stream. I'll be streaming for a while, so there's plenty more to see. Alright, so we're back in here and we're gonna go ahead and do F12, and now you see that we have our little UI pop up, but it's clearly not finished and it's kind of stuck on the screen now. So the next step is to add a little bit more to this to have it just show this UI and get rid of all the other stuff and make it so you can exit out of it. So let's go ahead and do that. All of that stuff is going to be tied inside of the actual island rating script. So it's just going to be tucked into here. So we'll make a public function called show island rating, and then we can go ahead and just quickly, while we're still over here, say I don't normally do like this get component thing, but we're just doing this for debug, so it's just to get this going. Once it's in the actual game, I'll have an actual just link to the component. But for now, this is the shortcut I'm using, just so people aren't like, oh my god, why are you using Git components in Unity? It's just for testing. It's 1 a.m. here, so I gotta see how long I'll hold it out. Yeah. Well, hopefully you can watch for a little bit. I don't know how entertaining this stream is gonna be. I'll do some pixel art later, but like if you're not into like looking at code, then it might not be super exciting. But yeah, we'll mix some stuff in here. If anybody wants to see certain stuff, just let me know. Alright, so we're going to do show island rating, which will actually do everything here. It should populate. Let me go back to it so we know what we're doing. We want to populate this text with actual stuff. I think for now it's okay if we pre-populate this with specific things because we know what these are going to be. So if we just want to go ahead and set that as decorations, this can be, what do we got? Themes, terrain, debris, trash, okay. So we want to, when we populate this, we want these numbers to actually reflect what the island rating system is doing in the extension script over here, in the script here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our commented out thing here and we're going to now put it over into our main show island. So we're going to get the rating straight out of the gate as soon as we open up the UI. And then we can play with the numbers that we get from that. Alright, so because we're doing the island rating stuff inside of this thing, I'm actually wondering, should we just move this? It would probably be easier to move it out of the script now. Yeah. The only time you're ever going to have your island rated is when you're looking at this UI, so we're going to go ahead and just take all of this code that we've made and put it into the actual island rating script now. So let's do this, and then we gotta come up here and we have to change this to literally just point right to this. There we go. And then we have to fix a few things here because we're not doing this stuff in here anymore. Let me just clean up this code really quick. We're gonna need this one over here. What else do we need? The file stuff. Right. I think that is it system.collections? Oh, we're already using system collections over here. We're not actually even using that. Get rid of these other things. Oh, it's system.io is what we need for file. Go ahead and save all real quick. Are you not able to set the stream title, by the way? Oh, I probably forgot to do that, huh? Let me go do that really quick. There we go. That was probably would have been good to do that at the beginning of the stream. Thanks for pointing that out, though. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna continue multi-streaming on Twitch and YouTube. We'll see how it goes, but it's a little clunky at the moment, and I'm still getting used to it just because there's like different idiosyncrasies between the two things, like different little things you have to keep track of. Alright, so we need to add this back in here now because it's no longer in that class, in that static script. Alrighty. That should fix everything. Title's showing up now. All right. Thanks. Okay, we have our function in here now. This is in the extensions thing. I use the extensions for a lot of public stuff that gets reused a lot across scripts. So just like when you need to pull resources or get animal building, get player animal, all this kind of stuff is just like stuff I might use from different aspects of the game, different areas of the game that I need to like get this information, so I just put it all in this extension script. It's kind of like the global script for people to access, or for the scripts to access. I don't know if that's a great way of doing it, but that's just how I'm doing it. All right, so we're getting the rating. We're getting rate island, and then we're getting all of these stats. We need to actually have these stats be inside of our class now, so that we can access them and set them. Or I guess we don't need to do that since it's already in the script. We just need to make sure that we can set this text and stuff. So let's go ahead and do that. So we know that we have decorations is index 0, themes is 1, terrain is 2, and debris trash is 3. So we can go ahead and set that up in here. We want to get our scores displaying correctly. So down here is when we've already done all the looping through everything, and we can tally up stuff right down here at the very bottom. And yes, we are hard coding these values. That's fine. It's like 5 things, so I'm not really concerned about it. Alright, so for the first one, it's going to be our decorations. I think it's, what is our value that we're getting from this? So we probably want to make a new value that adds up all of these things and then combines it together to tell us what our total decoration score is. So let's hold off on this for a second. make a new integer of decoration score. And then technically the buildings and the furniture and stuff, these are basically all decorations. So what we want to do is just add up all of this to our decoration score. So what we can actually do, I think total score is set to 0 before this. Yeah. So instead of setting, like adding all of this stuff to decoration score, we can literally just do this, which would be right here. So we're gonna grab the total score after combining all, like adding up all of our decoration values and points, and that's our decoration score. So we can just use that right down here. Uncomment it. All right, so now this score should show our cumulative, our total score of all decorations, all buildings, all wall decorations, ground decorations, all that stuff is gonna be right in here. Should just give us our value, our positive value. Actually, we need to make sure we put a little positive in front of it like that, little plus sign. That's for that thing. Then we're going to go ahead and just do this 4 more times for our other text values. So then we have our theme score. We're going to do the same sort of thing here. We'll just put it here. So this is where the themes are. Theme score. My stream cut out for a bit. What did I miss? I don't know when it cut out, so I couldn't tell you. I've just been building this island rating UI. We're actually making it display the values that your island score gets for all these different categories. That is what we're currently doing. So we set it to 0 up here, and then we're gonna go ahead and set it to because that we're still just adding the total score, we want to make sure that we subtract total score minus our decoration score. That should give us all of the stuff added up. Because these are all of our themes being added with different levels of points. There's a lot of magic numbers here, I understand. I might go back later and clean it up. I might not. It just depends on if it really matters that much to me. Like, I understand what all of this stuff means. So I literally commented to plus 10 here, so I know that this is 10 points. And here it's 50, and I made a note of that as well. I know some people are like, they get kind of annoyed with magic numbers and stuff in code, but again, I'm a solo developer, and I know everything that I'm doing, so... At the end of the day, it's not good coding practice, but I'm not that upset about it. Alright, so we got our theme score now, and we can go ahead and use that down here. If it works, it works. Yes. I would say I agree up to an extent. Like, yeah, obviously it would be better if I was coding this with better coding practices in mind, just because, you know, somebody might have to mess with this code. In fact, I'm pretty sure my publishers are going to have to mess with this code, but I'm always here to help them understand whatever goofy code I've written, so I don't think it's a terribly big deal. Alright, so for the terrain, it's factoring in a bunch of stuff like how many holes and stuff are dug in your world. It's going to also factor in your paths and stuff that you've placed down, but I haven't done that actually. But we do have the terrain stuff, the holes being calculated. So we're going to go ahead and do that. At least we can do that. So do terrain score equals 0. And then for this specifically, we're going to go ahead and just add it on to this because it is literally just this one thing instead of like 1,000 different things that we need to do. It just makes sense to just say and just copy that. So for right now, the terrain score is literally just however many holes you have multiplied times 5 points, and that's going to be a negative score for you. So That's currently the only thing that, and the debris that we're about to do is actually negative to your score. So we do that, and then we're going to do debris score. Where is our debris? Oh, right here. Actually add the debris score instead of subtracting it, because we're just getting the total of the debris. Yeah, I think that should be right. There we go. All right. We'll keep the total score debug in here for now, but for now this should, in theory, display the correct score for everything so far. So now that we run the game and we press F12 for debugging, we can see what this is doing. We still haven't set up the stuff to like turn off, like be able to close out of the island rating and all of that stuff, but I can worry about that later. So we hit F12, and there we go, we have our scores. So if we have -0 on terrain, which means we don't have any problems with the terrain right now, like no dug holes, we should probably set this so it doesn't say negative. But yeah, so our decorations right now are +103, our themes are +30. Themes probably because of all the tropical stuff we have is adding points. And then debris/trash should actually be negative, so that's something we need to change. So we're gonna do a couple of things really quick. Change this to negative because it's a negative factor, not positive. And then also we need to set it up so that it displays a doesn't display this when it's 0, because we don't need to do +0 or -0, it just shows 0. I think we can do that by saying the what is that? Let me just look this up really quick. Yeah, we want to do this little thing here. Where are you? Right. Okay. I was right. Alrighty, so now it's going to say no, what am I doing wrong? Hold up. Oh, right, because it needs to be a variable. Right, so this should now, if the decoration score is 0, it will do this, and if it's non-zero, it'll do this. And so we'll just do that for each one of these things real quick. Yeah, statement, question, yes, no. I don't know why I don't remember the formatting for that. It's really dumb of me, but yeah, it's one of the things that I don't use that often, but in this case it works really well just because it's so simple. I don't want to sit here and make if conditions for like each one of these with brackets and all that crap, so this is the easy way to do it. I'm sure there's even a faster and better way to do this, like just actually add on the plus minus in front of it. Would that actually work though? Because now you're setting d_score/t_score to what the text value is supposed to be. You're actually resetting that text based on the outcome. Oh, right. I'm dumb. This should be here. And then we want to say if decoration score is equal to 0, then this score plus... Yeah. That's what we want. Thanks for pointing that out. Yeah. See, I'm not exactly the best coder in the world. I'm just making do. What are we missing here? Oh, 2 equals. That's not gonna work. All right, now we're getting somewhere. Now we're cooking. That's good, this is good. There we go. I'm just gonna copy this one, update it. I can barely hear your voice when you speak. Is it actually that low? Is anybody else having issues with my voice being too low? My mic's kind of off to the side. It's fine here on Twitch. Is it a YouTube issue? I don't know how many people are watching on YouTube right now, but I'm not sure if like turning up your volume would help. I don't know. I'm not sure. Does YouTube have a volume adjustment thing for... Let me check really quick. It is low, but I can hear you just enough. Let me try to turn it up a little bit more. Sorry for the Twitch people if it's gonna get too loud. We'll see if is that a little bit better. I think that's about as high as it can go without me changing my mic volume. How's that sound, Twitch? Or YouTube, actually. And Twitch. Okay, nice. So I want to make sure everybody can hear me. I'm not trying to make the stream difficult. Just let me know if it's still too low on YouTube. I can try to do some other stuff, maybe. All right, now that we have this working, let's see if this looks a little better. It's a bit better. Okay, I think we're just gonna have to live with it for now. I'll mess with it on another stream, I think. If you can watch on Twitch, you could probably, that probably works too. But otherwise, just crank up the volume for now, I guess. I'm not super good with streaming, so I'm not really sure what I would need to change at this point. I think I have OBS like maxed out. I could try to tweak my mic volume. I don't know if that's gonna do a whole lot either. All right, let's just test this really quick. F12. All right, so we have the 0 now. It's not displaying negative or positive. That's good. 103 plus decorations, plus 30 themes, minus 440 debris and trash. Looks good to me. I think eventually I'll have this kind of like pop up one at a time so that it gives a little suspense. But for now, that's working. That's good. We should probably get these stars actually working too, so let's do that next. By speaking to the mic, it sounds perfect. Let me, maybe I can reposition the mic a little bit. Hold up. Let's bring it down. All right, how's this? I'm like right up in the mic now. And that's probably too loud. Oh, hold up. Yeah, this is hard. Trying to get it so that I can see it like blowing out in OBS now. Hold on. Let me see. All right, how does this sound? I think I'm not blowing out now. Okay. It is just me being too far away from the mic. That's fine. Cool. We're getting sounds good on both sides. That's great. Awesome. Alrighty then. Now everybody can hear me. What are we doing? We are adding stars. We're making the stars show up correctly. Let's do that. So we set up our little rating stars over here, and now we just have to actually make them hide until they're needed. Right now it's just showing 5 stars, which is not really correct. Do a little for each just to disable them all immediately, and then we can enable them as we unlock the score. There we go. For each image in our image list, we are going to just disable it. It'll be a quick check of that, and then we're gonna see how many points we need to hit a threshold to enable the star. Probably not gonna be able to test that very much because I'm gonna have to sit there and like delete a bunch of trash and set up a bunch of decorations. But we'll get 1 star for our island rating. I feel like this is better than a dev blog. It's probably just me. I mean, yeah, you can like we can talk with each other here, so there's definitely a lot more to learn about the game this way. Honestly, devlogs are kind of a pain for me too because I have to write up a script and everything for it, so this is kind of just off the cuff. And I'm getting work done as I'm, you know, streaming to people, so it's a win-win. Alright, so now we have 0 stars showing up here. That's what we want currently. I think we probably will do the grayscale thing, though. I think that might actually be better. What do you guys think? Do you think there? I guess there should be something there because right now it just is empty, and that's not great. So maybe, yeah, I think we'll do the gray stars. Yeah, let's go ahead and just do that really quick then. We have our star here. We can just make a gray version. We'll make it gray by default. There we go. So now instead of disabling these, we probably want to swap between the two sprites. So we want to set up two sprites. Alrighty, now instead of setting it to enabled equals false, we'll just change the sprite. There we go. And then we also need to make sure we plug those in because that's the thing that I always forget to do. And then I go and run the script and it says there's a null reference. So you actually do need to go and set these. Oh yeah, we also need to split it. Now it's like this. That's not what we want. Whoops. There we go. Multiple sprite mode. Alright. Alright. Will you keep doing streams? Yeah, I plan to do more streams. I know not a lot of people are watching right now, but that's okay. I just want anybody who wants to watch can watch. I was going to do more this week. I think I was going to try to do 2 streams this week, but I just kind of got lazy with it. I'll try to do at least 1 stream a week moving forward, but I would like to do 2 a week maybe. We'll see. All right, now we can actually set these sprites. Alrighty, now when we run this, it should just be all gray sprites. Might need to make them darker or fade it out to make sure that it doesn't look like you actually have gray stars or something. Yeah, so right now it's this. Probably make them darker. Do them slightly a few hours earlier for the European fan base. I actually asked in Discord what would be a good time for me to stream. I would love everybody to let me know what their best time for me to stream would be, just so that I can get a good idea. I do want to reach as many people as possible. I know it's late where you are right now, so I could do them earlier, for sure. Yeah, these are a little light. I'm gonna make them a little darker. Make them nice and dark. There we go. I think that's okay for now. There's just gonna be a black background like you see here with like this kind of stuff. I put that on the back of most of the UI, so right now this isn't how it's going to the final look, so it's okay. But yeah, now it's just black stars, which is fine. It's a very crude implementation so far. I just want to get it working. So now we actually need to make it so that when you reach a certain threshold that it gives you a gold star. Let's try to do that. Make it transparent. Yeah, we'll probably fade it out a bit too. These are actually broken now because I split the thing up. We'll just do it just for my mental health. We'll make it gold. There we go. "1 p.m. PST would be great. It's like 10 p.m. GMT plus 2. Alright, yeah. Maybe around noon or 1. Alright, let's make the gold star. Let's give ourselves a gold star so we feel good for the day. So if you get 500 points currently, you get 1 star, but we're gonna just make it a really simple for this test purpose. We're just gonna make it so if you get 0 points, because right now it's very negative because all of the debris. I'm just gonna try to get to a positive score, and that should give us 1 gold star. Let's go ahead and do that. So we can do, how do we want to set this up? We want to 1 score equals 1 star, yeah. 1 point, you get 1 star. It'll be very easy. I'm gonna do in total stars equals total score. Whoops. Then we're gonna what, we divide that by 5 for now. Sure. I think it should probably just be we'll do it very simple right now. Because the score actually changes like a different amount, so I can't just do like a incremental thing. But for now we'll just do it like this. So if total score is equal to greater than or equal to 0, then we are going to set 1 star. Star gold, look at that. We also probably want to put in a key to close this out, because otherwise we are going to have to refresh the game every time we want to look at our score. So let's go do that really quick. We want to add our checks for our game controls. Hold on. We can just grab it from another interface that we already have this set up for. There we go. Alrighty, so now we are subscribing to these events, so if our game controls action key is up or cancel key is pressed, we're going to do these functions, and we're just going to do a little function. And we also want to check if this is... Oh, we actually don't need to worry about if it's disabled or not, because we're just going to disable the whole script. So we can just do this. Very easy. How many types of slimes will you end up adding to the game? I think there's like 10 to 12 different slimes. They all have different abilities and unique traits. All right, I think now we should be able to run this and do our final test. So the way you'll actually get your island rated is you have to go to a certain person who will judge your island, and he'll also give you tips and tricks and stuff on how to like improve your island's rating. And he'll use the information that this rating system generates to give you those tips. So it's like if you have a lot of debris on your island, he'll be like, okay, you should probably clean up these kind of things, like these types of objects on your island. Get rid of like these twigs and sticks and stumps and stuff. So it'll be very clear how you get a better score. All right, so for now, let's go ahead and hit F12. That's how we're going to do it for now. And you'll see that we don't have a gold star yet because we have a very bad score, which is down here. So it's negative 307. So let's go ahead and just... Now we can actually close out of the interface when we hit action key. Let's go ahead and quickly... I'm going to try to quickly get my score up here. Just clear as much debris. Let me get my pickaxe equipped. Go around the edge of the island and clean up everything around the edge. And debris will spawn over time, so it's something you need to keep track of. But if you lay down paths and like flooring and stuff, then the debris won't spawn anymore. So it's encouraged to like build out your island and make it more livable. This stuff on the beach doesn't count as debris. It's like washed up stuff, so it's fine to leave there. The main debris is like these little sticks, and these larger stones here are okay as well. So again, like this stuff will be pointed out to you when you talk to the guy. He'll be like, okay, these specific items are debris. So you're not confused as to like what is debris, what's not debris. But for now, I know exactly what the debris is, so we can just clear it. You can actually use your sword to cut through the weeds as well. Zoom out here and see. We got a lot of sticks. See how much debris clearing we need to do to actually get a positive score here. I can save and test it here in a second. See how much further we have to go. All right, let's run it again. So we had a negative 307 score. What do we got now? What are we cooking with? We have a negative 142. We're getting really close. Yeah, you can see it all tallies up here. All right, so let's go ahead and get there. I want to see that gold star. I don't know about you guys, but I really need a gold star today. This big log over here is also debris. Gold star or bust? Yes, I agree. If you leave items like this on the ground as well, it's also considered debris. So like you leave a bunch of crap on your island like this, it will make your score go down. But I feel like for most people, like sweating the island rating, it's not really that big of a deal because your island rating doesn't need to be good until like mid to late game. And at that point, most people's islands probably are going to look pretty good already. So I would assume most people are gonna go, and when the first time they get their island rated, it's probably gonna be like 2 or 3 stars, just off of my guess. Unless you really just like dig 1,000 holes on your island and do nothing, and just leave it as trash, which I'm sure some people will do. That's totally fine. Are you going to show the current island score on like a bottom row as well? Yeah, I'm going to show at the very bottom. I'll show the total score, the total points. I forgot to add that. Debris or not debris? That is the question. I like me some Shakespeare puns. All right, I think we're getting close. I think we are close to a gold star after this couple more little debris here, and we're gonna check it out. All right, come on, let's save, and let's see. No, we're still off. Negative 27 points. Come on. All right, we'll get there. We could just like drop some yeah, let's do that. Let's, instead of cleaning debris, let's just make a we'll drop some stuff onto the world. We'll do let's do like 50. Do we have sunflower displays? That'd be funny. Yes, okay. I'm planting 50 sunflowers for my girlfriend. Here we go. It's beautiful. I can make a YouTube video about this. A million sunflowers. The island is so much more beautiful now. What do you think? No, I can't place it there because it's a... Oh, you know what? You know what? I'm gonna dig you up because I want to make a smiley face. I need a shovel. Give me a shovel. Digging up the seed. There we go. Clean that up. There we go. Sunflower back. All right, there we go. Smiley face. Now we should have a good island score. Let's go ahead and save. That hitbox above the tile when chopping like a stick shows up at like the very last frame. Is that intentional? Probably not. Let me see what you're talking about. Hitbox. You mean like the effect thing? I think it's just a hit effect. Like that? Yeah, it's just this the splat. Boop. There's actually a hitbox that you can turn on. Cursor. Looks like that. It's really good for lining stuff up on a grid. Alrighty. I think we're good now. I think we've definitely cleared it. Let's go ahead and save. And let's go ahead and island score. Oh, but we don't have a gold star. What's going on? No. I think we're positive. Oh, how are we negative still? All those sunflowers, I think they might not be adding up. No, they did actually add up. The debris is just outweighing it. It's really bad debris. Alrighty then, I guess we're gonna have to just... Again, like, you can't flood your island with flowers and stuff because it's not going to give you a very big score off of that alone. You have to, like, build up themes and stuff. So, yeah. I am going to... Alright, let's see. Where's some more debris? There's got to be a lot of debris on here still. You got that. Where's our debris? There's debris up here, so... we don't currently have a way to get up here. I can teleport myself up there, but I think I'll show you how to actually get up there legitimately. Let me go ahead and turn off this thing really quick. So what you can do... Yes, ladders. Ladders is correct. You can make ladders. And you can just place it down here, and then we... Actually, I need to fix that little layering issue. So now you can get up here and you can access all the little goodies and trees and stuff up here. That's going to start raining. This is debris. It's a root. One more debris over here. And the butterflies out in the rain. And this is debris right here. Yeah, there's like a little layering issue here. It's probably just the player's Z order that needs to be sorted so you're not popping behind the ladder. But we'll fix that. That's no big deal. Very minor. Alright, we certainly have to be getting close now, right? I think we've actually probably done it, unless there's more debris spawning on my island. I need to go check really quick. Yeah, you can see how hard it is just to get to like a 0 score, let alone like 500 to 1,000 points or whatever. So there's you'll build up buildings. You have the more animals and crops and stuff you have, that all adds to your score as well. So obviously, like, it's pretty good though that you're not getting a big score off of this, because this is pretty much the basic island with a few things on it. You'll definitely want to build it up more. I think we can live with this. I think this should be good. No, it's not. It's still negative. Oh, you know why? Because we haven't saved. You know what? That's probably why we didn't have the score go up before either. It probably should be a lot higher. The reason why is because the world data it's pulling from is the save data and not the current temporary data. Which won't be a problem when you have to go to a different island to get your island rating, but for now it is a problem because we're doing it on the same island that we're rating it on. So now we should get a now we should get a gold star. Oh, look at that. There we go. 1 gold star. Amazing. I'm glad you could all be here to witness the greatness of getting a score of 25. Let's go. Yeah. So as you unlock these stars, you will get some special stuff, either like recipes or like furniture sets or whatever. But you will unlock a few things with this. But as I said, like, you will need to reach probably at least level 3 or 4 island rating to beat the game, or at least to reach the ending of the game. So it is kind of a factor into the game. It's not a massive crucial thing. Like, most people should be able to do it pretty easily. It's just part of the overall scope to beat the game. So I think for now I'm going to be satisfied with this. It's working as intended. There's a lot of polish I need to do with it. I need to make it like all the toolbar stuff go away as well. It's going to be when you chat with a person that this actually pops up. But for now it's working, so I'm happy with that, and we're going to go ahead and save that and move on to something else. I don't like to stick on something too long because I kind of get bored of it, but I will come back to it probably in the next couple of days. I think for now we can do some sprite work. So I might do portraits, or I could probably do actual the small pixel art sprites. So what do you guys want to see? Do you want to see me do a big portrait, or do you want to see me do like one of these little guys, like directions, like walk cycles and stuff? I'll leave it up to chat. Little guys. I got to vote for little guys. So I have the issue of wanting to have one feature done before I move on to the next. Oh, I wish I had that issue. I wish I could just like finish one thing from start to finish. I could probably already have released a demo of the game by now if that's how it worked, but my brain just wants to do like 1,400 different things. Like, I'll work on one thing, and then, I mean, I guess it's nice when you're a solo developer because you could just jump around like this, but it's kind of why it's hard to do, like, just one thing for me. I can't just sit there and do all the art or all the code. It would drive me crazy. Little guys. I think we're just going to do little guys then. I think our tiny majority wins. So let's do a little guy. So for our little guys, we let's figure out who we want to do first. We're working on these guys. We already have all of Wimnum Villagers directions done. These are all done. All the green guys here. So we need to do these guys. I think we only have her. Mika. Mika is done. So let's do somebody completely different. Let's do Rocky. We can do Rocky. All right. So for these, I have actually built templates. Let's go ahead and load one of those up. This is a big time saver for making a lot of these like villager sprites. Where are we at? It's in Cloudscape assets. To do this, we have these guys, our body templates. So body 1 is our male villager template. And you can see I already have a lot of this set up. So I've color coded everything out, like the right arm is red and the right leg is pink. Left arm is blue, left leg is teal. It's got all the basic cycles and stuff. I do need to actually add the sitting in here and the sleeping. I don't have those in here, but I'll do that later. I haven't updated. I updated the female version. You can see that we have sleeping and sitting in here. I actually just used one of the existing characters for these reference points. So the sleeping is literally just like a floating head. But for now, we're going to do Rocky. So what we do first is we save this as a new character. I think he's Rocky. Oh my god, what is his last name? 1 second, let me pull that up. Shows you how well I know my characters. I forgot his last name. It's blanking on me. He is a Rocky Grit. Rocky Grit. That's correct. Sorry, Rocky. Rocky Grit. We paste him in here. Oops. Don't want contiguous, or we want contiguous on. Get rid of this stuff. All right, we have Rocky in here. He's ready to get animated. He was basically one of the base things to make this whole reference setup anyway, so he fits in there just right. Of course, he doesn't have pointy ears, but yeah. So what we do here is we're just gonna start making these frames. We can do this really quick, the idle frame. So you can see what it's doing is it's just raising the torso and upper body up. So all we have to do here, very easy to do this. Go to our second frame. Actually, is it our first frame? No, second frame. Up, regular, down. Up. Oh, now we need contiguous on. There we go. Up. Let's make some room here. And down. That's it. That's almost the entire idle animation. Like, I want movement from the character, but I don't want a lot. But what we do need to do is swing his arms, because every character swings arms a little bit, so they're not so dead. We can also animate his little cowlick thing here, his little thingamajig. Let's see what we can do with that. Doop. Very, very simple. It's actually frozen in place there, so we need to do some trickery since it's moving at the same amount as his Yeah, it's like, it looks like it's stuck in place. So what we can do is we can tweak it a little bit more. We can have it rotate and come up a little bit. Just one more frame. Like that. Now it's moving a little too much. I think it's moving down too much. Mess with it. Now it's doing that, so now we want to do a little bit of rotational movement with it. Perhaps. It's a little better. Once we get the other side moving, it'll look a little bit better. We actually might save this for the walk cycle. Let me go ahead and do that instead. I think it's a little too much movement for this. So what we can do is we can just go back to what we had. Might be a little too much. Little too over animated. Sometimes you can have that problem where, like, especially when I was working at DreamWorks, I got too into animating something and I would like over animate it to the point where it was like Looney Tunes, and it didn't call for that amount of animation, and that can kind of also be a problem, over animating things. You wouldn't think it would be a bad thing to add more detail, but it can. What game do you currently play when you're taking a break from development? I'm playing Sparking Zero. I haven't heard of Sparking Zero. I've been playing Fantasy Life, the girl who steals time. I play that just to kind of stay in the same mindset. It's a similar game to Cloudscape, but certainly more grindy than Cloudscape's going to be. But I do enjoy that. I also just play mobile games that are just like random time killers. I actually just play like a merge game that I've been playing for like several years. Not exactly like thrilling game dev or game content, but it just turned my brain off, kind of entertainment. All right, so let's go ahead and animate his arms swinging. And the way I like to do that is I just kind of use this shape and work on top of it. It's like we know his arm is going to have to move in. Like that. It's going to be more in shadow. Try to leave a little bit out of shadow. And because his arms are uniformly symmetrical, we can just copy paste this arm over on the other side. There we go. That's swinging back. Alrighty, now we do the swing forward, and this is going to be a little trickier because we got to kind of erase the front part here. So we know the arm is going to come over, and then we can just shift it in here. And the sleeve is going to come over the jacket, so it's going to be like that. Like so. There we go. His arms swinging. Arms a swinging. And then we just do the other side. Actually, it looks like his arm comes in even more, huh? Yeah. His arm's really rolling forward. Make sure we grab everything and then... Whoops. There we go. There we go. Rocky has his front-facing idle. Now we have to do actual new art because we have to do the back and stuff. We could do the walk, but we're gonna skip that for now. We're gonna switch up and do the up-facing frame. So what I like to do with this is really simple. You just flip the character, so like, you know, obviously if he's rotated around, his hair would be on this side. And then of course we won't see his face anymore, so we need to start filling this in with hair. We need to make the back of his head. We wouldn't see this anymore. We would probably have that like that. This is a quick and dirty cheat to get the back of a character's head. So we know that his head is actually shaved sort of in the back, so he's kind of that's like a fade. And so it actually goes all the way around the back of his head, so it's going to be this kind of like crosshatch fade all the way around the back. So we would want to continue that around the back of his head like this. That's going to actually be filled in like that, and then we're going to want to clean up around this ear. It's going to be more symmetrical like this side. You can start to see like the shape. And of course we're going to want to actually make that an outline here. Might actually come down a little more on the back of his head, so it's not showing so much of the back of his head. Just a little bit like that. We can copy paste this since this part is actually symmetrical. Is that where we want it? Yeah. Wait. Yeah. Yeah. Then obviously we can't do that, so we're gonna have to keep the cross hatching coming over the old natural way. And I think we want to make it a full cutoff on top. It's a nice separation between the hair on top and the hair on the bottom. Rocky is rockin'. Yeah. He is very rock-like. So I think this should be good. I don't know if I want to add any extra like I think that's fine for now, yeah. It actually might come down a little bit more. Let's bring it down a little bit more. Let's bring it down like 2. Like that. There we go. You can start to see like, yeah, it's like the back of his head. Might actually go down a little bit more with it. But for now, that's fine. Let me at least get this top part the same on both sides. There we go. And then this is just gonna run down the back of his head a little bit more to the back corner of his head. All right, it's looking decent. Get rid of this a little bit. Not bad, not bad. Wondering if we should take it down more, but for now that's fine. Now we can just do the jacket. And then the collar would be... What would the collar be? The collar would be just end at the top of his neck. And this would be all filled in because it's the back of the jacket. And then the jacket actually droops down. We'll have it leave a little bit of the belt showing. Like that. Again, the belt buckle would not be on the back of his pants. Do like that. And there you go. I mean, that's pretty much the back. Well, let's fix up his collar here a little bit. Like the collar would not be in the back either. It wouldn't be here. Could do more like oh, you wouldn't see the collar at all from the back. That's fine. I'm gonna give him some shadow off the back of his head. And then we probably want to bring the head up a little bit. And then make this all dark. There we go. I mean, that's a first pass. Up facing view, down facing view. And then we're gonna want to do the same thing here. We want to dupe that 3 more times, and then you can look at the reference. It's doing the same thing. He bobs up, then bobs down. Yeah. So all I have to do is bring this all up by 1. It's kind of like a breathing slash bobbing, bouncing animation. Just to give him a little bit of movement so he's not just static sitting there when you're walking around. Alright. That's pretty simple right there all by itself, but then we're going to add the arm swing as well. And we can use our reference for that, of course. Let's go ahead and save too, just because we made some progress here. So we can use our reference again here. We can see like the arms swing up and back. So we can just erase where we know the arm is going to be. And then we can move our arm into position there. Shift it up. Erase what we don't need here, which seems like not too bad. Redraw in the arm. It's looking good. I think we want a little bit of seeing the back of the shirt. I think that's fun. Yeah, it should be fine. We just do the same for the other side, and then we just finish the forward swing, and then his top back facing idle animations are done. I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible just because I have so many characters. Because I have so many characters to do, I need to think about conserving time. It kind of looks a little weird, right? But like when it's in motion, it looks fine. So here is the easier part, because we just have to erase some arm. We bring this up because it's swinging forward, so we see less of the sleeve. And then we're probably going to also want to see less of the glove. Like so. Like that. It'd be fine if we darken that. Actually, it's fine. A little bit of swing forward. Let's go ahead and cut this arm off and do it on this side too. And we're done. Swinging his arms. So we got our idle there, and we've got our idle front. A little bit more livelihood and movement to him. Can always come back and clean it up later. I just want to get, you know, something in there. And now we have to do the considerably more challenging part, which is the side-facing views. These you actually have to start to like get creative and build out the head shape. So for that, we're going to take the front-facing view, and this is going to be our idle left-facing, so he's going to be looking over this way. So what I do here is I take the front and the back, like so, and I put them on either side. We turn on our reference, which is just this, and then we have to reconstruct from the front and the back some sort of amalgamation to create Rocky here. So one of the things I like to do is I just copy the head and just bring it over here and do something like this just to get a rough start of where everything is positioned and lined up. We'll do that. We'll just do the head for now. The body's a bit easier because it's just adapting this with clothing. But this head is definitely a little different. So we want to keep his eye about as same as possible. Move the little highlight to the front of his face. And then we can start building out where his nose would be. This is roughly the same spot. We're just going to keep it about the same. And then we know that our hair, we can just move our hair for now and just get it out of the way because we're going to work on the ear and stuff here. So now we want our ear about right here, and it's going to be from the side, so it's going to be a little longer, a little bigger. And then we're going to want to build out his hairline here. So he's got like a sort of side shave sideburn here. It's down to about where his eyebrow, upper eyebrow is. So we know we can go out like right to about there. And then we're going to want to come up and give him this sort of same arc running this way. Might look a little weird now, but we're fleshing it out. We'll just delete that for now because we can always just grab it back from here again if we need to. All right. So the hairline comes down about back here, so we can just make this all hair. This will be, and it's really close to his head, so the head shape isn't gonna get that much dramatically bigger. And for now, we're just gonna draw the same sort of shape for the top of his head, so he just has a shaved head. And we're gonna do the sort of same buzzed line going around the back of his head here. The two different elevations. We can just start filling it in to see how it looks. Not bad. His nose is looking a little big or weird, so we could make it smaller for him. And adding a little bit of shape goes a long way. We need to make the eyebrows, let's see, looks like his eyes are too far forward, maybe. His mouth might be a little too high. Give him a little bit more sideburn. Shadow in the neck. Starting to get there. We need this little tuft, so we can just bring that on over. You can see his head's a lot shorter looking here than on the other side view, so we're gonna have to play around with this a little bit more. I think we need to bring this all up by 1. And of course, you definitely want to keep volume with the hair, so we're gonna do that. We might want to shade his nose a little differently. Okay. Just trying to rough out the general shape of the top of his head. Whatever just looks good to my eye. It's a lot of tweaking and finessing to get something that I like. Alright, so his hair's parted. Let's get our little thing here, so it's kind of in the back corner of his head. I think that's fine for now. And since we're doing like a pseudo top-down bird's eye view, you would see like some of the back side of his head here. Make sure we add that in. I think I'm okay with how it's starting to shape up. It could be better. I definitely will probably tweak this a lot more. He definitely has a lot of chin, doesn't he? Maybe we bring the chin up by one. There's certainly room for improvement, but I think we can call it roughly done. Might want to bring this up one, though. And bring it out one. Just to give it a little more shape on the back of the head. I definitely should probably come down more, huh? Yeah. A little further in here. And maybe we bring the whole back of the head in by one. It's looking a little alien-headed now. There we go. Very nice, very nice. Of course, this is not lined up now. That's fine. There. Not too shabby, not too shabby. Alright, let's work on the body. We can always come back to his head. That's the great thing about pixel art is it doesn't have to ever be finished. I just want to make a little progress and get something going. Alright, so for this we could just make his body as is. We can just literally copy this pretty much to a T. In fact, let's just copy over the glove. You can see it just fits right on there. At this point, it's kind of just like tracing over my own artwork. I mean, that is exactly what it is, but there's like details you have to add. Get that sleeve. Need to make the... We'll go ahead and do this part first. Pence. Whoops. So his back is going to be this color. Gonna head out. Have a great day, everybody. Have a good night, Chrissy. Thanks for tuning in. Jacket. The collar is pretty hidden under the shirt, but we can do a little, or under the head, but we can do a little bit of it there. Actually extends out pretty far. Have you had any outside help working on Cloudscape, or has it been 100% you? I had somebody do all the music. Samantha Vandersloot did all the music, so that's the only thing I outsourced. Everything else is me. So all the art, all the levels, all the design, programming, everything else, that's me. But yeah, I'm not good on music. I'm very, very rough with music. Like, I could make very basic tracks, but I wanted really good music, and I didn't want to focus a lot of time on that, so I just paid somebody else to do it. I wish I was more musically inclined, but unfortunately I never really picked up instruments that much. But yeah, everything else, pixel art and programming and stuff, is all me. I wish I could hire other people. I just don't have the money for that. I would love to be able to do that, but yeah. I think I am okay with that right now. I think his arm is a little too far back. His hand feels off. There we go. All right. Feeling it, I'm feeling it. He could probably be a little bulkier, but for now, he's fine. He looks a little shorter than he's supposed to. I think maybe if we bring the head up by 1 or 2 pixels. Don't necessarily want him to be as tall as exactly the same height as this, because you're seeing him at a little different angle. But for now, I think this is okay. It's a little long in the body right here. There we go. Does his head feel like it needs to go back 1? I think so. Or his body needs to come forward 1. I think the head should go back. Yeah. That's a bit better. Yeah, there we go. Pretty happy with that. He could probably, when he's walking, he's gonna have more of his arms and stuff showing, so the side views for these characters are a little weird, but I can live with it for now. I'm not the best artist in the world. I make do. So the right side would also be pretty much the same, except for we're gonna do his other hair stuff, which I may or may not do now, but it would just be this, like, these few, like, little, like, kind of dread looking things would just be here. In fact, you could almost just copy it. can always save a lot of time doing similar, just copying art that you've already done. So you can kind of do this. You'd probably have to tweak it a little bit. Obviously, you don't want all this upper stuff. But yeah, you can almost get away with this. So it's very, very easy to do asymmetrical hairstyles and stuff if you just kind of cheat like so. But we also have to change his eyes and stuff because his eye markings are different on each side. You're doing amazing, and I can't wait for the game to be ready. Oh, thank you. I can't wait for it to be ready either. I really want people to play this game. It's been in development so long. I feel like it's my baby. I just kind of want to be done with it at this point. Not that I'm sick of working on it. I just want it to be finished so people can actually enjoy it. So how far along do you think the game progress is as a whole? That's a really hard question to answer. I wish I had like oh, it's like 85 or 90% done, but it's very hard to estimate. It's definitely not coming out before the end of this year. I can tell you that much. I have several months of work already logged and ready to go. But I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm hoping, you can't hold me to this, but I'm hoping early season 1 of next year. Quarter 1 next year. I'm really trying to push for this game to be finished. But I can't make promises. I wish I could just be like, yes, this specific date and time it's going to come out. But unfortunately, I'm pretty terrible with managing that sort of thing, so it will be done as fast as I can finish it. As in terms of like what the progress is, it's over halfway for sure, way over halfway. But I can't say within like percentages. But a large bulk of the work that's left to do is 2 of the villager islands, which I'm trying to crunch through in these next couple of months. So essentially it's this stone island and then the cloud island, and those 2 are the big content pieces that are left to do. It'd be awesome if it was quarter 1, but I'm just glad to see the progress going along. Yeah, I mean, I would really like to get this game out. And not only for everyone to play, but also like financially, it's very draining for me to make this game. The Kickstarter money is long gone, other than the money set aside for the physical production. I've already given that to the publisher, so that's like $50,000 that's tied up with that right now. And that's probably going to cost more now that everything is cost more to ship and produce. But in terms of the runway for this game, I have probably until like mid next year before I'm out of money myself. So kind of on a deadline, but I will get something out. So there's no worries. So you see he's a little different from the reference now. He's a little taller than the reference guy. But we can still use this as our base to figure out how to make our idle swing animation. So the nice thing about these characters is that it's basically, I just have to make a front view, a back view, and a side view that I can then flip to make the other stuff. Obviously, I need to change the asymmetrical stuff for the character. But that's mainly the 4 views, but then there's also carrying, so I have to do different arms for this. And then there's also sitting, which I don't have in here, and sleeping, which all, again, aren't a whole lot of extra pixel art work to do. It's mainly just I have to figure, like, get these core sprites done, and then it's just modifying and pushing pixels around. So I'm trying to make these as simple as possible. I don't have as much... I'll show you the character animator for the main character, which is going to be very... well, you'll just see. So this is the down animation for one of the body types for Kumo. Let me go ahead and just turn off the extra stuff here. Yeah, so here's our base character of the game, and you can just see how monumentally massive this animation file is. So you have idle, walk, walk, carry, craft, swinging tools, slash, dig, lift, sleep, water fill, water pour, tired, tool break, swim, passed out, get up, death, eating, sprint, or spirit, handcrafting, yada 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 yada. It's a lot of animations. Turn off the effect thing because it's kind of annoying. This alone is just one. This is just that. Let me just play through the whole thing for you. This is literally just the down animations for the main character. There's thousands of frames, and they're all it's all paper dolls, so everything's layered on top of each other. But you can see there's just a lot of frames in here. Some of them are repeats, a lot of them aren't. So yeah, this is just the down animations. And so you can see, like, you can come in here and change some things. So like we can change the hairstyle. Oh, actually, turn off the hat. Oh, we can actually change the hat too. So we have different hats, and every one of these things needs to be hand animated to line up with the character. So this is just one hat. Here's a little party hat for the frog that I did recently. And just a different hairstyle. Again, it's just like, it has to line up with every single sprite in every frame. The sprite sheets are astronomically huge. I'll show you those really quick. So just for like the body sprite sheet, this is the body sprite sheet for facing front direction. Very, 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 very big amount of frames. And that's for, you know, then you have the left direction, up direction, and then you have every layer, the chest, the face, the hair, the hands. They all have all of those frames. So it was a lot of work. That's why I'm trying to keep the villagers a lot simpler. The villagers are just this. They do carry stuff, so I needed those animations. They pick up stuff and hold like their gifts and stuff. And then they will sit and sleep. But for other animations, for like cutscenes, that'll be specific to each character. I'm not going to make every character's animations. But I can show you one of the characters I did recently. We'll show you that. So I made her recently, Mika Pebble, and she's fully done. So this is to show you like what a finalized villager sprite looks like. Yeah. And so we still have all these, all of these characters here to go. So, all of these guys. And that's the next couple of months of work is just making all these character sprites, making their dialogue, and then building out the levels, the world that they live on. So that is the core amount of work done. These guys are all done. These guys are all animated. They all have all of their sprites. Some of them have costumes and stuff for different holidays, and all their island's pretty much done as well. So that's one core, 1/3 of the game is basically done right there. And then, you know, this is the other 2/3 of the island content that needs to be done. But yeah, that's over the next 4 months is what this is basically just going to be me working on this stuff every day. You have made a crazy amount of NPCs, especially for a solo developed game. Yeah, I probably made too many. To be honest, if I could go back like 4 years and be like, hey, you want to make a few less characters, I probably should have done that. But the game is scoped with what it is now, and like I don't want to underscope it. I don't want to like cut back stuff that I already planned. But I'm not scope creeping, so I'm not like adding new stuff as I go. Like everything that is there has been designed already. So like again, like all these characters, I planned these out years ago. None of them are new like additions recently. I'm not like adding, oh, I came up with another character, let me add it in. Like that would extend the game's development indefinitely. So I'm not doing that. Everything is very scoped in to what it is. I've just got to finish it, but it's such a big project. It's a very large project. I mean, if you think about the scope of this game, it's like it is Stardew Valley after several years of release, so it's a lot of content. There's like 40 plus people in it, and you can date like 18 to 20 of characters. So yeah, it's a lot of content. Nobody can doubt your resolve at this point. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's like the hardest thing. You know, I actually when I first started Cloudscape, I reached out to Concerned Ape, who made Stardew Valley, and I messaged him and I was like, how did you finish this game? And he's like, you just have to persevere. He said like your willpower is your greatest tool, and so that's what was stuck with me the most from my talks with him, is just like you have to will yourself to make this game. Like Stardew Valley wouldn't be made unless you literally just like if he just gave up at any time, it wouldn't exist. But you just have to push yourself. It's like there's days where I just don't want to work on it, but you know, I still try to do something. You can really start to hate your own game, and I definitely feel the same way he did about Stardew Valley, where it was like, you know, 90% through the development, you're just like, is anybody even gonna play this? Is it fun? Like, am I making something that people are actually going to enjoy, or is it just like, because I can't honestly enjoy my game the way that I would like to. I've played it so much, I've debugged it so much, I've tested it so much, I've played the same stuff so many times. I know all of the dialogue. So at this point, it's just kind of like, I need new, fresh people to play the game so that they can, you know, have that experience for the first time, and I can feel a little bit more rejuvenated about it. Like, oh yeah, like the game's actually fun. It's definitely one of those kind of games where it's like, I wish I could have made something simpler, just because then I can get it out and be like, okay, it's good, it's bad. It's a big gamble. Certainly a big gamble. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people are like eager to play it. A lot of people are like upset that it's not done. If there's anybody that's upset, it's me. Like, I am the most upset. Like, nobody can be more upset at me than me. I wish this game was done like years ago. That was the intention. It was supposed to be done like 2 years ago, but unfortunately, you know, I'm pretty bad with time management in terms of determining how long something's gonna take. I've been getting better as I go, but it's probably my weakest aspect of game dev, is that I'm not good at managing myself or managing how much time stuff's going to take to do. So that is definitely a weak point for me. But yeah, I'm mostly disappointed in myself, because if the game was done already, I would be extremely happy and everybody could play it, and that would be great. It's not like I want this game to take a lifetime to finish. That is for sure. Better to take your time and make sure you're happy with it than to rush it. Yeah, I 100% agree. Like, I know there's like there's a point where you have to just be like, okay, this is good enough. I've definitely had moments where I'm just like, I need to stop like working on this because I need to get the game done. But yeah, there's like a management that you need to be able to do with yourself to be like, okay, this is far enough, this is good enough. But certainly I don't want to rush stuff out the door. I've had people be like, you know, why don't you do like early access or like do like a super early release so people can play it, like give something for people to play. But I feel like that's doing a disservice just because like I want the game to be in a state that people could get enjoyment out of it for a while and not just be like, okay, there's like an hour or two of content and then you're like waiting around like the game's not finished or like this feature is not good because it's been rushed or whatever. So I think a lot of people have good intention when they're like, please hurry up and release the game, and it's like, yeah, but you don't want the game to be bad because then you're just gonna look at it and play it once and then move on. It's like maybe you're just bored today and you really want something new to play, and I get that, but like you also want this game to be good. I want people to be able to play this game for a long time. And not for it to just be a very short fix for your boredom. Please don't do early access. Yeah, I really don't want to do early access. I mean, I think the only way I'd have to do early access is if I just run out of money and like I have no other option. If I have no way to fund the rest of development, I would have to do early access, unfortunately. It's not something I want to do by far. I would rather just release the game full and like finished. And the core reason I wouldn't want to do early access is simply because like I don't want to give the public an unfinished game, to be honest. Like, and it would probably take a lot longer to finish the game because I would have to be dealing with a lot of customer support and bug reports and all that stuff when I really just need to be like working to finish it. You get stuck like doing a lot of social media and like marketing and all that stuff because your game's now live and out. So I'd be spending months and months of time doing all of that instead of just finishing the game, which is why I think a lot of early access games take way too long to get finished. It's like you release in early access and it's like in early access for 2 years or something, just because like you probably could have finished it in 6 months if you just sat there and worked on it. But because you had to release in early access now, again, like you have to deal with all of the public stuff, and that becomes a big hassle. Little coat movement there. Yeah, we still want to do some like hair movement slightly, but their hair is kind of stiff, so it's honestly not a big deal if it doesn't move. I do see one thing that I need to like fix here as I look at this. This one, the shoulder needs to come back one more because it looks like it's just locked in place. So let's do that really quick. That's a little better. Let's fix his arm. Still a bit stiff, but you know, I'm gonna probably live with it for now. I think every character is gonna eventually get touched up in the future, just because I'm probably not gonna be as happy with it at the end, but you know, it is what it is. For the most part, you're going to be seeing the character like this, so it's not like you're like zoomed all the way in looking at every pixel and like, oh my god, that one pixel is moving a little weird. He's kind of just like standing over here to the side when all this other stuff's going on. This looks perfectly fine. It's just kind of like some motion happening for Rocky as he stands there. So I am happy with that for now. Sometimes you just have to be like, okay, that's good enough. It's probably not my best work ever, but you know. And I'm sure I'm missing some stuff here and there, but we'll get back to it. That's the great thing about game dev, is like everything's like a work in progress until it's not. So I could come back and touch this guy up in 2 months from now or something. You know, it's not a big deal. That's one thing that I had to really work through. Like my mindset was like, if I don't finish something with like code, I can always come back and do it later. Or if I don't like something the way that I did it the first time, I can come back and change it. So sometimes it's like, just get something done. You just have to get something out, push something, get it working, get something there, and then later you can change it. You don't have to make everything perfect. I think that's a problem, is like if you try to strive for perfection with each thing, it's going to take you forever. And time management is definitely something I'm trying to improve on. I'm gonna head off. Thank you for the stream. It was cool seeing everyone. Good luck with the rest of the sprites. You got this. Thanks, Carison. Take care. I don't know if I'm saying that right. K-Resin. Have a good weekend. It's been 3 hours. I'm probably gonna wrap up the stream myself. I'm gonna probably finish this guy offline. Probably need to eat some dinner here soon. So I hope everybody enjoyed tuning in today for this 3-hour stream. I will be trying to stream more in the future, probably sometime next week. I'll let you guys know in social media, Discord or whatever, when that will be. Until then, take care, everybody. Have a good weekend. Don't forget to like and subscribe or whatever. Find me on social media. Find me. I have all my stuff in the bio and all that stuff. So if you're interested in Cloudscape, interested in game dev and Unity and pixel art, you can check out my streams in the future. So until then, take care.